There is a warning from vets about a sugar substitute that's catching on as people try to cut down on sweet things. It's called Xylitol, and it's very, very poisonous for dogs. The Veterinary Poisons Information Service went specially to the Discover Dogs show in London over the weekend to try to warn more dog owners about it. One of our listeners, Kate, has been in touch with that same warning after her dog Ruby became seriously ill.
My family and I have just lost our beloved Hungarian Vizsla dog, Ruby. And I just wanted to get a warning out there because I was baking brownies and she stole two, nothing new. But this time it was different. They had chocolate, of course, but I'd used a sugar replacement called Xylitol because it's healthier for humans. What I didn't know is that it's lethal to dogs. And after 10 days of battling, she died on Friday in the intensive care unit at the Royal Veterinary College Hospital. And it's immensely sad. Please look out for Xylitol. It's everywhere in all sorts of foods and takeaways now, not just my home cooking. And please, manufacturers, make it really clear on the packet so that Ruby's death isn't in vain.
Well, xylitol is in some peanut butters and some chewing gums. Our reporter Elizabeth Hodson went to the Discover Dog show at the XL in London this weekend to see how much the dog lovers there knew about that.
Well, I was aware that it was in chewing gum, but I wasn't aware that it was in peanut butter. Peanut butter is used as a treat sometimes for dogs to put in Kongs and keep them busy and things like that. So you wouldn't know unless you check the label.
So you're going to be checking the labels?
Yes, I am.
I think, is it in peanut butter?
It's in some kinds of peanut butter, I think.
Butter. So when you're buying peanut butter, because my dog loves peanut butter, you make sure that it hasn't got xylitol in it because xylitol is not good for it. Yeah?
And it's also in chewing gum.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was in chewing gum.
Do you ever have chewing gum in your handbag, for example, at home?
Yes, I do, and I have it in my car where the dog is.
So now you know that xylitol's in chewing gum, what are you going to do?
I'm going to make sure that I buy the tubs rather than the little packets. I do keep the tubs in the car, but in my handbag I don't. I can see now a little square of gum that's sitting in my passenger seat well that I'm going to make sure isn't there when the dog gets in the car next time.
Dog owners at the Discover Dogs show. Well, Nicola Robinson was also there. She was there, though, for the Veterinary Poisons Information Service. Nicola, how many dogs are being poisoned with xylitol?
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I mean, it's very difficult to give an exact number, in fact, because there's no national data, unfortunately. But we have around 300 cases a year reported to us at the Animal Poison Centre. And I expect that's an underestimate because, as you've just heard, if owners aren't aware of the problems, there may be cases where dogs become unwell. This happened with Ruby. I knew about Ruby's case, and it's heartbreaking to hear that she has passed away. But there may be a case where they're unwell and xylitol is not identified as a cause. So that's a concern to us, and I think the real figure is probably much higher than 300 a year.
Kate's dog, a Hungarian Vizsla, died after eating 2 brownies. Now, a Vizsla's a big dog, 20 to 30 kilos. It's been poisoned by what sounds like a small amount.
Well, this is one of the big problems with xylitol. They only need a tiny amount to poison themselves. I mean, in practical terms, we're talking about milligrams per kilogram, not grams per kilo. And a milligram is 1,000th of a gram. So when you're making brownies at home or cupcakes and you want to be healthy and put in xylitol, then of course you're going to put many grams in. And looking at it from chewing gum, which is about 70% of our xylitol calls are about chewing gum because it's so readily accessible to dogs. One piece, one of those hard pieces is enough to poison a 9 to 10 kilo dog.
That's a little dog.
A little dog. So we're talking Jack Russell, for example. And dogs don't have portion control, as all of us dog owners know. They don't just stop at one. They'll eat many, many pieces if they're available and in front of them. And that's why they are so at risk.
How does it affect them then? Why is it so harmful to them?
Well, it causes two things, actually. It causes a very rapid drop in their blood glucose level because it basically releases insulin, which is a hormone from the pancreas, which causes the blood sugar to fall rapidly after they ingest it. And in severe cases, if a large amount has been ingested, it can also cause liver failure, which, of course, can be life-threatening. And that's what happened in Ruby's case that we heard about.
Is there any antidote, anything you could do at home if this happened to your dog?
No, there is no antidote. The thing that you need to do, and all owners out there really should be aware of, is with any poisoning, be it your cat, your dog, anything they've come into contact with that could potentially be harmful, is to get advice straight away, accurate advice as to whether you need to get treatment quickly or not. And that's why our owners helpline, which is called Animal Poison Line, the other line that we spoke about, the veterinary poisons for vets, but the animal poison lines for owners, so that we can give them that advice quickly. And in poisoning cases, the quicker they get there for treatment, the better the survival rate.
The manufacturers are using this a lot more. We've mentioned chewing gum, peanut butter. Apparently it's in cupcakes as well. People are using it at home in the way that Kate did in home baking. I'm guessing you believe there should be much bigger warnings on the packs.
I mean, it would be fantastic for us, of course, to work with manufacturers and for them to be proactive to increase awareness of the problem. I mean, of course, these foods are not meant for dogs, but inevitably...
We just had a listener, sorry to interrupt you, email to say, is it poisonous for cats?
No, interestingly, it's not. It doesn't cause any problems in cats. That's a strange thing about poisons. Obviously, where I work, we're experts in poisons, and there are so many thousands of things that can cause problems, but some of them are just in dogs and some just in cats, and one is just in dogs.
So you were saying you'd like to work with the manufacturers?
Yes, I mean, absolutely. I mean, these foods aren't meant for them, but all your listeners that have dogs, and particularly with Labradors, which are overrepresented, they're very clever at getting hold of things that they shouldn't be eating. So it would be wonderful if they could work with us, and also to be more transparent about how much is in the products, because we need that to give proper risk assessment to our owners when they ring us.
Nicola Robinson from the Veterinary Poisons Information Service, thank you for coming on.